Hello and welcome to today's show. Later on we're going to be joined by the fabulous Jo Austin, who has a mini album to show us. She has used the Papermania All Aboard collection, the little memory pockets, and it looks really, really good. Can't wait to show you.
But before we get on to that, I've got some lovely projects here that have been sent in by Creativity Club design team member Debbie Powell. And she's used some of the new Papermania urban stamps.
That's lovely.
And there's this one as well, which is using the little Dachshund.
I
which
like
is so
this.
Cute.
It's funny because it's the total opposite to something that like Becky James creates,
Definitely,
which is packed and full
completely
of distressing. But something like this is really sweet if you need to make a quick card.
Definitely. She's got this really simple embossed background, and
Yeah.
inside she's got the other end of the
the bottom.
His bottom.
Lovely. Thank you very much for showing us those. Should we get Jo onto the show now? Yeah. Come on over, Jo. Hello. Yes. Brilliant. So what are you going to be showing us today?
I've got a little
this.
mini album that I've created.
Fantastic.
Obviously, just as a variation, and another little one there in a different range.
Looks brilliant.
But basically, just using the All Aboard, and I've used the map on the front. There's a couple of different techniques with this one, but just to put your memory pockets all together, just to create a little
lovely.
tag
I did
album.
set you this challenge, didn't I? Because we have all these memory pockets in this collection, and so a lot of people do find it quite hard how to use them.
That's it.
So this is a really great way.
This is my sort of scrapbooking. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Right. I'm going to pop off and I'm going to let you two get on and make the project.
Fantastic. Right, Jo, should we make a start?
I think we will.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is take an A4 piece of black card.
Right.
I'm going to turn it round into a portrait position, and I'm going to cut it at 9.5 centimetres. Okay, so just pop it up to your line at the end of your scoreboard. Pop your ruler on. And all I'm going to do is just take a slice. Okay, so what we need to do now is to score this piece. So again, just lay it landscape-wise.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to pop it on, and I'm going to score this down at 5.5 and 7, 17.5 and 19. Okay, so we've got four nice score lines across the top there. And then with this, we can actually just fold this over, and this is going to create the base part of our little mini album. Okay.
Oh, we've got a viewer's question.
Okay.
It's from Tony from Exeter.
Hi, Tony.
How do you choose which colours go together?
Oh, that's a question in itself. I find it really easy because I always use Papermania cardstock.
Yeah.
And in the packs of the Papermania card, everything is built to go together. So you'll get fractions of one colour with something else. So you'll get a stripe of one colour and a spot of another.
Yeah.
And it's all very tonal. It'll all go together within the pack.
And all the collections as well, everything goes together as well. So if you buy a full collection these days, everything goes together anyway, doesn't it?
It does. So the memory pockets will go with the papers, which will go... I mean, obviously, the gorgeous, come back to this one again, you can see they're two completely different colours, but the colours are sort of merged in the topper.
Yeah.
So even though you're choosing a topper from one range, and you can still put it with the paper from another.
Yeah. So
what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to emboss this little section here, and we're going to do a little bit of an embossing detail, because at the moment, even though I've got the black card, this is, again, it's where I think it's a little bit garish. It's a little bit too bright to go with the black. So I'm just going to tone it down a little bit and do a different technique on the top. So what I'm doing on this one is I'm going to use a tri-boss folder with the clocks on there.
Yeah.
Okay, and a little hint that I picked up on the internet the other day, because I'm actually embossing onto paper. If you used a big shot with this, I'm going to just use a bone folder.
Yeah.
But if I used a big shot with this, the chances are that the paper, because it's quite thin, it's only about 160 GSM, it would actually crack. And you wouldn't obviously be able to do the techniques with it.
Right,
so just by taking a piece of Papermania vellum, fasten it to the inside section of your embossing folder, it actually stops it from cracking.
I was wondering if this was a die set that I hadn't seen before.
Yeah.
An embossing set.
There we go. So all I'm going to do is just very quickly just rub over the top. Now I don't want the pattern too detailed on there, but I just need a little bit of detailing on. Okay. There we go. So I've got a little tiny bit.
That's such a good, such a quick and easy way, isn't it? If you haven't got your machine with you.
So what I'm going to do now is just ink over the top, just with my ink pads, and this is just going to emphasise
picks it up, doesn't
the
it,
top
then?
of the pattern, just there. So again, it's just bringing it in as another little design element there.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm going to take a little bit of the green and just add little flecks of that, so very, very lightly, just a little tickle straight over the top, and it's going to get, again, it's going to tone it down a little bit. The brown and the green, it's going to make it look more vintage.
Yeah.
Okay, now for the technique that I want to show you. And what I'm going to do with this, I've been having a little bit of a play with my embossing powders. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my embossing powder. I'm not going to put any ink on first.
Do you want a tray?
No, it's fine. I don't need one. I'm just going to sprinkle it on just with my fingers. Just like that. There's no wastage with this one, so you don't have to think, oh, I've got to put one colour on, then I put another colour on.
Right, okay.
We can go in with the gold. Add a little sprinkle of that one. Okay. I'm going to have a little bit of copper as well, just to introduce that dark brown into it. A little bit, so a tiny little sprinkle of that one. And then just because I'm girly, I've got some of the enchanted gold. I love this one, how sparkly that is, it's beautiful. But again, it's just going to give it a little bit of a sparkle. So again, just a tiny little mix of that one. So I'm just going to grab my heat gun now. Now obviously we've got no ink on that, so if I blow the heat gun straight onto there, it's just going to take all the powder off. So what I want to do is to actually hold the paper and heat it from underneath. Okay, it won't take a minute just for that to go through. So obviously we are embossing through paper. You can see it's just starting to change already. So get most of it embossed like that, and then we can go on from the top just to do the rest of it. So there you can see you've got that multicoloured type of look on there. It's not too heavily embossed, it's just got that, it's just accenting it a tiny little bit. Okay, so to decorate up the outside part of the box, what I'm going to do is stick a little section on there. So I'm going to go with the longer one. And all I've done is I've just measured it around, so it's 10.5 wide, long, 9.5 wide, and then just take off about probably a quarter of an inch, about half a centimetre. Right, and then we can just stick that little section on there. Okay, so that's the base section there. And obviously remember when you're sticking it on, it needs to go the right way. So always put it down facing the first little section there. Right. And then this top section here, what I'm going to do with that one is just using the angles that I've got on my board here. I'm just going to mark it 2 centimetres one way, 2 centimetres the other, 2 centimetres one way, 2 centimetres the other, and then I can just cut off those corners. Okay, so what I tend to do with mine is put your scissor on the first mark, bring the cardboard up to the top edge of your scissor, and then just close your scissor. Right, okay. Okay, and then you're going to get that nice corner, just like that. Yeah. Okay, now to do the top section, again what I've done is I've cut a piece of card, again taken off that quarter of an inch, about half a centimetre. Yeah. Now we're going to pull it down so I've got a gap across the top, twice as wide as what I want it to be, so it's got to be twice as wide as these little measurements at the side. Right. I'm going to turn it over, make sure that we're still straight, which we are, and then just holding it in place, just going to take my scissors and just trim that section off there. So then for the inside section of this, I've got the All Aboard memory pockets. So with these, what I'm going to do is just cut up a little bit into there so I can leave ones with the pockets on there so you can actually enclose whatever you want to enclose on there. So I'll leave 2 like that. I'll just pop 3 in, obviously just as a little bit of a quickness. And then what I'm going to do is with the other one is I'm going to trim this across, just where this little section is here. I'm going to open this little bit up. I'm going to go in with my 1-inch circle punch, just put that into there, and then just create a little thumb cut. Right, okay. Just in the section there. So when you've actually got anything in here, you can just get your finger in to hold it out. Yep, okay. Okay. So all I'm going to do to start off with is just put a little bit of craft tape halfway up on my bottom of my little folder. Okay. Okay, so it's just reaching about halfway up the tape. Yeah. I'm going to repeat that on 2 of those. Okay, and then to fasten it together, I'm going to put one on top of the other. Yep. Stick it together, and then that's going to go on top of that one and stick it together again. And then all we need to do is just to wrap a piece of tape around the back side of that one. Yep. Just there. Okay, so this is now going to fix onto the back of here. So what I'm going to do, just to fix it on, is a couple of little bit of double-sided tape. Yeah. And then a little bit of wet glue. Make sure you've got your wet glue on there as well, and that's going to give you that permanent adhesion. Yeah. So you do actually lose the back of one of these sections. So obviously just go for the one that you don't like. Yeah. The most really. Yeah. Okay, I've got the nice map at the front there, you see. And then that's just going to stick straight into the little folder. Okay, now on these ones that I've got the little flap. Yeah. Just on there, I've got my twine again, and we've got these fab little stops. I know. I've seen these. I haven't actually had a go at using them yet. Yeah, I love these. Like these. You can put a brad through the centre as well if you're wanting to decorate them up.
Yeah.
And all I'm going to do is I'm going to fasten one on there. I'm going to take my twine. I'm going to take a little length of that one. And this time I'm going to fasten it underneath. So it's actually permanently joined on, so you're not going to lose it. Just on the underneath of there. And that's going to go just there, so we can actually fasten that little pocket together. Like so. There we go. I'm going to take 2 of these, but this time what I've done is I've taken 2 brads.
Right, okay.
So 2 nice little sparkly brads. And again, just open the brads up, take the adhesive off the back,
yeah,
and stick it onto the front of your album. And again, what I would do is just put a little bit of wet glue just to make sure that it's nice and secure on the back there. There we go. And that's going to go on there. And again, that's just going to basically just tangle round and just fasten that together like that.
Brilliant, thank you so much for showing us that.
No problem.
If you have had a go or you're going to have a go at making these, then do let us know. Email us at tv@docrafts.com. And for now, happy crafting.